Hi, I'm Barbara McRae.
And I'm Bob Spinozzi.
Welcome to the February edition of Littleton Common. We're already a month into 2019. Where does the time go? It seems to go a lot faster when you're an elder. You know, we complain when there is snow and we complain when there's no snow. We finally got some the end of January, and I'm sure there is more to come. When it does snow, it resembles something out of a Norman Rockwell painting. We've seen that here on our Fay Park. But winter certainly took its time getting here, didn't it?
Yeah, and that's a great reference. That is a great setting, at Fay Park.
Yeah, it is, and they had ice skaters there. And you know, I wanted to make sure I get a picture. I have it in my mind, and it is Norman Rockwell. Littleton has its spots where it can be Norman Rockwell.
Did you ever go to the museum? I think it's at Southbridge, Western Mass. We went there several years ago.
Yeah.
Really neat place.
Yeah. Well, we have our days.
And we have our Rockwell setting here, so.
Right. If you'd like to change your wardrobe or add to it with a new winter outfit, then drop into our thrift shop on the second floor of the townhouse on Shattuck Street. But don't be fooled if you see it belongs to the Friends of the Council on Aging. That doesn't mean we are just catering to our senior population. There are clothes for the whole family, Mom, Dad, and Junior. Every name brand is represented, and you will be very impressed. Mix and match, that's what is pleasing about thrift shopping. The variety of styles will contribute to your special taste. Can you tell I am sold on thrift shops, and especially on ours here at the Council on Aging? I have managed it for 20 years, but now we have a new manager. Sandra Cassell will take over this month, and I am very happy to have her in charge. Drop into room 230 on Monday, February 4th for coffee with Joy Hosford. And she was originally Joy Richard, but she got married. She is the editor of the Littleton Independent. She will be there from 11 to noon to hear your questions or comments or ideas about the paper. Joy will be my guest today, so stay with us for that. I know the words Council on Aging don't seem very inviting to you younger people, but if we asked an older senior if they thought they would be visiting a Council on Aging when they were younger, I bet they would say, no way, not me. In fact, so many of you that were young when we started are now in our age bracket. See how time flies? Now, I'm sure some seniors who said no way are glad there is a place to go and join a lunch group, play bingo, to exercise, especially exercise. Join crafts or a knitting group, play cards, or just get a chance to socialize with people who are interested in similar subjects. Or if you're looking for something to do, there's always a place for you to volunteer at Elder and Human Services Council on Aging. Do you have a craft you like to share? Start an art class, become a Meals on Wheels driver, or drive an EHS-COA van. Call the COA office at 978-540-2470 if you're interested in any of these projects. It's also a way to see how our council works, just in case you have someone you would like to introduce to the facilities. The COA and Friends of the COA are sharing the goal of a true senior center for the town of Littleton. One where we could offer all the activities we would like to in a welcoming atmosphere. These boards are meeting each week to plan the future of our dream. We now have a building in mind and hope to get the town to agree to help us. And we want to acquire it. Our meetings are each Friday in the Selectmen's Meeting Room, 103 in the Shattuck Street Town Office Building. The meetings are open to the public, so we hope that if you're interested, you'll come join us.
Or you can watch them on our local TV station, 9 for Comcast, 39 for Verizon. Most town meetings are shown on our LCTV station. First, go to the Littleton Town website, click on the LCTV button located above the calendar, then click on Live tab on the middle right of the LCTV on-demand webpage. Click to the Government tab and then click to the pre-recorded COA meeting. When you see the program you've selected, use the video controls below the picture to play, stop, fast forward, pause, and rewind as you choose.
Several of our seniors are passing around a survey petition that you can sign in support of this effort. These petitions are just to show we have a great number interested in helping seniors. We need your support, young or old, male or female. Please help us give the seniors a place to call their own. January was a great month for donations to the Friends of the Council on Aging. We are so blessed with some very special gifts. One from the Littleton Track Organization for $2,708 and a $15,000 check from Middlesex Savings Bank. And we can certainly use the money for senior projects and towards our senior center plans. And thank you for these generous donations. And anyone else wanting to donate, we will welcome your donation anytime.
COA Senior Diner is open to Littleton seniors. Gail Dalton is there with her volunteers serving these meals from 12 to 1 p.m. 5 days a week. Meals are $2. Each month there's a woman's breakfast, men's breakfast, and a veteran's breakfast. So don't be alone. Come in and join these great breakfasts and social times. Menus are in Senior Broadcaster each month. Also, take care of your health. Get that blood pressure read by a nurse on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon in room 230 and Thursdays at noon in the diner, where the fire department is there to check it for you. We want you to live a long, healthy life.
Just a reminder, don't forget to contact the COA office for help with your taxes. The appointment book will fill up quickly, so call 540-2470 soon to get on the list. Read what you'll need to bring with you in the monthly broadcaster.
Box lunch. Concert Indian Hill Music presents an all-Beethoven program with pianist Eric Kamen and cellist Daniel Rowe. 2 shows, Thursday, February 14th at 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m., 36 King Street, Littleton, Mass. Complimentary coffee, tea, cookies. Bring your lunch, free admission. You have reservations for groups at 978-486-9524, and to learn more at www.indianhillmusic.org. Orchestra of Indian Hill. Maestro Bruce Hangen and the orchestra play the best of Brahms' Hungarian dances, Symphony No. 3, and Piano Concerto No. 1, featuring guest pianist Yafei Chuang. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Anyway, Saturday, February 23rd, 7:30 p.m., Littleton High School, Performing Arts Center, 56 King Street, Littleton, Mass. Ticket range is $20 to $35 to $50, free for Indian Hill Music students. And you can learn more at 978-486-9524 or www.indianhillmusic.org.
Now, don't forget Valentine's Day. Grab your sweetheart and your beret and come celebrate with the Friends of the Council on Aging for lunch in our gay parade at noon, February 13th in the Shattuck Street Multipurpose Room. And remember, that's February 13th. February 14th is Valentine's Day, so you'll be a day ahead. Your reservations by February 8th, and that's so we have a correct count. There will be a waiting list for non-residents and a $5 charge for lunch, and free is to the seniors in Littleton. In March, we continue our travels to where else? It's Luck of the Irish for the Friends St. Patrick's Day celebration luncheon. So look for posters later this month.
Also in March, Littleton Lyceum is featuring Journeys in Traditional Spiritual and Gospel Music with Suzanne Buell, and that's on Friday, March 8th at 7:30 p.m. at the Littleton High School Auditorium. This will be an inspiring and informative night of music and musical history. Tickets will be sold online, www.littletonlyceum.org, or at the door.
I have to tell you, Bob, that I got used to gospel music by marrying a Southerner. Because when we would go visit his parents, the television would always have Dolly Parton, and this is when, this was years and years ago. But anyway, I grew to really love it, so I think I'm looking forward to this particular Lyceum.
Yeah, I think my contact with gospel music was we sang quite a few gospel tunes in high school. Choirs, junior high school and high school through the years.
Yeah.
So, nice sound.
Yeah, get most of it when we drive down south, though.
Now here's Sam Alvarez with news from the Reuben Hoare Library.
In February, we have several events to share with you. On February 2nd, it's Take Your Child to the Library Day. This is a day for patrons to see what children can do in the library. We have special events, a scavenger hunt, a craft, and a special performer. It's a great day to get your library card too. The Friends will be holding their annual We Love Library cookie sale in the morning. On February 6th at 3:30, there will be a teen board game day. There'll be plenty of board games, but teens can also bring their own. And of course, there will be snacks. The 9th annual Bread Bake-Off is being held Saturday, February 9th from 1 to 2 in the Cooper Room. Prizes and bragging rights awarded to first and second place winners in yeast and non-yeast categories. Entries should be made by February 8th. Bread should be dropped off between 12:30 and 1 on Saturday. Judging, munching, and socializing scheduled between 1 and 2. Winners announced just after 2. Please indicate yeast or non-yeast when you register. On February 13th at 11:30 a.m., teens are invited to brunch at a movie. The film will be Avengers: Infinity War. If you're a fan of the band Queen, you'll want to join us on February 14th for Library Movie Night at 7. The film will be Bohemian Rhapsody. February 20th at 3:30, there will be a Teen Nintendo Smash Bros. Tournament. There will be prizes for whoever wins and comes in first and second. Musician Jeff Snow will be here on February 21st at 7 p.m. to share some of the stories and the history of Scotland through music. If you have a kid going off to college, you want to join us for the Strategies to Pay for the College Bill program on February 27th at 7. The class is intended for parents of high school seniors, though open to parents of all high school students. This class will review the different options to pay the college bill, ranging from loans, payment plans, and other strategies that you may not be aware of. We'll review the pros and cons of each option so you can decide for your family which is best. We have a new book club, too, that you might be interested in called the Classics Book Club. They meet every Saturday from 11 a.m. in the small meeting room. You can check out the online calendar to find out what book they're reading this month. There are several new services beginning this month. We've added a new streaming movie service called Canopy. With Canopy, you can stream thousands of films right to your computer or another device. We now also have online access to the Boston Globe, the Washington Post, and the Wall Street Journal. There is also a new museum pass available to the Mystic Aquarium. These services are all available for free with your library card. Thank you, and I'll see you next month.
Thanks, Sam. You know, we thought crafts were a thing of the past, but this class is growing because it's fun, good social time, and you can also create something to take home. Our craft class is not a thing of the past. Join the group on Wednesday, February 27th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in the Shattuck Street Town Office Building's multi-purpose room. You know that's the room we use for all of our groups. And then they will be working on tiles and saving or creating memories. They'll put these memories on the tiles. This should be very interesting. Bring a small picture, a poem, or a small card that you want as keepsake. You will learn how to preserve them on 1 or 2 tiles to be used as coasters. So call the COA office to sign up, and that cost is only $3. Join moviegoers here at the Council on Aging for Dog Days. This is a comedy which follows the lives of multiple dog owners and their beloved fluffy pals, and they go around sunny Los Angeles when these human and canine lives and paths intertwine, because their lives begin changing in ways they never expected. This movie is as predictable as February snow in Minnesota, but ultimately a wonderful movie. Best part of this is Charlie the dog, so watch this in COA room 230 on February 28th at 1 p.m. And that is only $2 donation. A new series starting in February is Downsizing, Decluttering, and Moving On. This will be held on Tuesday, February 12th, and March 12th, and April 9th, from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock in room 233. Sponsor is the Lair it's Lair Realty Partners with speaker Annette DeBiz. So please sign up at the Council on Aging, 540-2470.
Bill Val's classes for February begin February 7th with ransomware. What is it? How to protect yourself from it. On February 14th, moving email systems, moving contacts, address books, notifying people and websites. February 21st, digital photography, review of concepts, moving pictures off your phone. February 28th, more Google services, creating forms, surveys, synchronizing data across systems. So join Bill Thursdays from 10:30 to 11:30 in room 230.
The town offices will be closed on Monday, February 18th, President's Day. And remember, no Meals on Wheels and the senior diner will be closed. But stay with us now and meet Joy Hosford, editor of the Littleton Independent. So today, my guest is Joy Hosford, and she's with the Littleton Independent. And we have a lot of questions and probably a lot of answers that we want to talk about today. So, Joy.
Hi.
I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Joy Hosford. I recently changed my last name. I got married this year. So if you recognize Joy Richard, that was the artist formerly known as me. If you're sending me emails and you're worried that your email isn't going to get to me because you have my old one, fear not, because it'll bounce right to the new one. But I work for the Littleton Independent and the Westford Eagle. I'm the multimedia journalist, which is a fun way of saying reporter. I've been working for Gatehouse for 5 years now, almost 4.5 years. And I started off with the Bedford Minuteman, which is their weekly paper. And then I took a year to do print processing, I guess, which means doing the layout of front pages of papers. So I did 4 or 5 papers for about a year, just to kind of take a little bit of break from writing. And then when Alex Silva, the former writer for Westford and Littleton, left, I made the decision to see if they wanted me for that job, and they were good with that, and so here I am. So I've been with these papers for a little under a year.
Oh, well, that's good, and we're glad to have you.
Thanks.
But, tell us also a little bit about your job.
Sure. Yeah, so multimedia journalist is, I am the writer. I also do all of the online stuff, so that's where the multimedia part comes in. I write let's see, I'd say 3 stories a week for Littleton and 3 stories a week for Westford. I try to split my time equally between the 2 communities, which is always difficult because there's always something going on in each town that's just as important as the other town. I try to do as much breaking news as possible, which we cover online. So if you're ever wondering what's going on day to day, follow us on our Facebooks and on our website. Facebook is the most up to the minute way to follow us because I post there right after I post on our website. So if you search Littleton Independent, you'll find us right away. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's Little West Joy, just combining the 2 names. And then we also have an Instagram, which is Little West Joy. So that's more of the artistic photography that I do throughout the week. I also do a lot of live videos from events. So if you want to follow us in real time on Facebook, we do a lot of live streaming. And so there's a lot of concern around submissions coming to me. I know that's a lot of concern that people have. And so I wanted to address that today because I know it's very frustrating.
It is.
So if you're going to send something, a lot of the times you'll see like Littleton at Wicked Local as the email. You'll see my email address. I get both, but if you want to talk to a human, send it right to my email address, which is Joy Hosford. If you have the Joy or the J Richard one, that'll still work too. So send it right to me. If you don't hear a response, it either went into my spam or I didn't get it. So keep harping on me. And the minute I get it, you'll hear a response, especially if you're sending a letter to the editor or even just a press release or some pictures that you want run. I will answer you and make sure that they get online and into the paper. And this is where the second part of the process comes in. So it comes to me. I'll get your press release, say, for an event at the Senior Center, and then I will confirm it through an email back. And then I send it to a processing department down in Texas. And so they process content for all of our papers in New England. So they take what you send them and they change, the AP, change it to AP and a format that's suitable for the paper. And then they submit it to the print person, which is what I used to be, who puts all the content onto the page. And so there's sometimes a little bit of loss in translation issues that happen with those people down there. They work really hard. They have a huge job to do because they have, I'd say, over 20 papers to work on. And they have a limited time frame, just like I do. So sometimes things get lost in translation, which is very frustrating, especially because when I promise that something is in and it doesn't happen, that reflects poorly on us. And obviously it frustrates you guys, which is completely understandable because I'm just as frustrated. Because I want Littleton things to run too. So I've had some discussions with people down there and we've kind of clarified the process and we're hoping things are running a little bit more smoothly now. In the last communication, I've been happier with the way they've been submitting things and getting things online and into print. So I think that relationship is a little bit better. When you come into a new paper like I did, it's sometimes hard to kind of catch up on everything all at once. And these issues do happen, and I do work really hard to kind of rectify it because I love being here. I love Littleton. You guys have embraced me really well, just as Westford has. So, I want to give you the product that you deserve. But it takes time to learn about a community, what issues are the big ones. I know there's a library project going on. You guys want a new senior center. There's the town common and the sewer, and there's just a lot of stuff that needs my attention. And so I kind of have to parse out, my time and my resources, just because I'm the only one, unfortunately.
Well, we need to understand that. But on the other hand, sometimes we think, is everything coming in from Westford? And what are they thinking in Texas? Because there is Littleton. And we get a lot of complaints about that because we think we had some things to talk about, but Westford's ahead of us. I'm sure you're not, taking favorites, but for us, it's like frustrating too.
Of course, yeah.
And we hear a lot about it. And because of it, I'm afraid to tell you that a lot of Littleton people are canceling Independent. Because they say, I don't get anything out of it, I'm not going to get it anymore.
I can understand that completely, and you have a finite amount of money to work with, and if you're frustrated with a product, you're actually going to get rid of it because you got other things to pay for. And I
We
get
want
that.
it to change.
Oh, yeah, and I'm
and
hoping
it's-
for it to change.
It
that's for
sounds
sure.
like you're working on it, but you
Yeah.
do have a lot of things that you have to go through just to get it back to you and processed.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, is very interesting that, you know, you'd have to send something to Texas about us and get it done.
It's basically, so for a long time, the editors were processing all that content themselves, plus writing, plus doing online, so it was just taking up, the processing side of it was taking up all of our time, which is why they decided to have a different department do that, and it's in Texas for, you know, whatever the powers that be reason has.
Yeah.
But people down there, so Littleton has one person that puts everything in, Westford has another person that's putting everything in. Those positions change a lot. So the communication is key between me and those people. And
Yeah.
so I'm working on that really hard right now, and I think it's getting better.
Oh, good. We'll look for that.
Yes, yes.
Does Westford get the independent news? I mean, the Littleton news?
Sometimes I'll share stories, like if it makes, for example, I did a piece on two ladies who started a group to help people who are survivors of sexual assault, and they are hosting that support meeting at the Littleton Library. And to me, I feel that that's important for people in Westford as well, because they could utilize that resource
Sure.
just as much as Littleton.
Sure.
So I've shared that with them. Or if there's a Littleton connection in a Westford connection in Littleton story, I always share that, or just something I think that might be of interest. Like, for example, there was a bobcat that was roaming through Westford, so I shared it with Littleton just because he could roam into Littleton. You never know.
Yeah, that's true.
And you want to keep your pups safe and your cat safe. So
yeah, that's a
yeah.
good-
Sometimes when I think that they're relevant, I'll share them back and forth, but not too often.
Well, does anyone at the paper know at times that sales could be dropping because, you know, and that they do need to perk things up? There must be some kind of a...
Oh, absolutely. But it really kind of, subscriptions are a small percentage of what goes into the revenue for the paper. So it's really kind of about sales dropping. So if a car dealership pulls all their advertising, which is a lot of advertising for us so they can go online, because people mostly shop for their cars online now. That's a big example. We lose that big chunk of revenue. So it can be hard to pay for people like me, people in Texas. It's really the advertising pulling away and going more towards the internet that's kind of hurt the industry at large, and not just us, like the New York Times, the Washington Post. We're all feeling that crush of advertising pulling away, and that's been happening for years now. It actually started happening when the economy crashed, which is when I graduated college and entered this field. So it's been kind of up and down for all those years, just like the economy. So it's frustrating, especially for writers who want to give everything they can and don't feel like, you know, we have resources, but they're limited.
Yeah.
And so we have to, like I said, spread our time and our writing out amongst several communities, which can be tough. And my last job, before I came out here, I was covering 3 towns, which was even more overwhelming because then there's always someone getting the short end of the stick.
Oh, I bet.
You can't give 50-50. It's tough. It's tough, yeah.
I bet. Yeah, and also it's a little bit, you know, hurtful, I think, when someone does write something for the paper.
Of course.
And they've put their time into it and in some ways maybe a lot of work or research, and then all of a sudden they don't see it there.
Yeah.
So right away we're angry with the paper.
Sure, and that makes
Or
complete sense.
you'll get calls saying, what have you done? What aren't you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and
No, I get that. If I wrote something on my own time without getting paid and I was passionate about it and I didn't see it after hearing from that person that it was going to run, I'd be upset too.
Yeah.
So I understand. I don't take offense to people being upset because I get it.
Yeah.
I would feel the same way.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm trying to work on that communication piece, like I
Good.
said.
Because there's going to be a lot of activity in Littleton pretty soon.
Sure.
I mean, it's starting right now, and it's going to be right up until the May town meeting, because there's people needing things. especially us little seniors. But
I understand that. Yeah, we're going to work on a story about your senior center, so I promise that will happen.
we're working on it, let me tell you. So there'll be a lot of things that we want put in the paper so that people understand what's going and understand why we are fighting for the things that we're fighting for.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we'll be definitely sending you some things to,
Good.
And calling you and texting you and emailing you.
That's good.
Where is it?
The more you communicate with me, the better. And that's what I've told people, in Texas as well. Just reach out to me. If you can't process something, I'll take care of it. I don't have a problem with that. I know they're just as overloaded as we are. So it's all about communication, really.
Good. Again, give us the way we can communicate with you.
Okay. The best way to communicate with me is by email. So you're going to send everything to either J. Richard or J. Hosford. It'll all go to the same person. You can even send it to littleton@wickedlocal.com. I'll still get it. If you don't hear from me, keep following up with either another email or a phone call. My office number is 978-371-5786. That's 978-371-5786. I give my cell phone out to special people.
You just gave it out to a bunch of special people.
Well, that's my office line.
Okay.
Yeah, my cell
Okay.
phone I kind of keep for if I have a relationship with someone.
Right.
But email, phone, you can communicate with me through Facebook. That's a little more difficult because the messages don't pop up as notifications. So stick with email. Twitter, you can tweet at me at Little West Joy. I'm really available, and like I said, if you don't hear from me, it's because I didn't see it. So that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that this gives everyone a better understanding about what's going on and what happens to the independent and you, meeting you, because now you have someone that you can communicate with. And
absolutely.
You know who they are. And what they're going through, and maybe we understand it. But when it comes time for the article we want in, we're again going to want to understand if it's not there,
Absolutely.
and be happy if it is. And because we, the Friends of the Council on Aging have a lot of things that go on, and we like to make sure that people understand that we're doing our job for the seniors the best we can, and hopefully they'll find out about it through you.
Yep. And so if you ever want to talk to me in person, I hold a monthly coffee with the editor in Littleton. February's is going to be on the 4th, which is a Monday, and it's going to be at the Senior Center here in town. And we start at 11 and we wrap up at noon, and I'll have, coffee, bagels, and donuts and all that good stuff. And you can come out and chat with me about story ideas that you have, or questions or concerns, or just chat with me in general. I do a weekly one in Westford, simply because more people come out. And if more people come out in Littleton, I'll start doing it either bi-weekly or weekly. Those are at Muffins on Main, and they're not exclusively for Westford people. I like to do it in both towns just to give people less of a drive. But if you want to come, I do it on Fridays from 11 to 12 at Muffins on Main, which is on Main Street. A lot of the time, since it is just me, I'll have like a scheduling conflict or an editorial meeting that'll pop up. So do follow us on Facebook. I give day before updates if we're not going to be there and when the rescheduling is happening and stuff like that. And then if you really have something that you want to share with me and I'm not going to be there, just email me and I'll answer you right away.
Good. Well, I think that we've given everyone enough information that they could help the independent, with having articles about Littleton.
Absolutely.
Because this is one way of getting all the word out there, and it's very important to us.
Yes.
And like I said, it's going to be very important to us the next few months.
And it's very important for me to connect with the community, because that's the only reason why I'm here, is to help you guys get the word out, is to celebrate the people in town. The kids, the seniors, everybody. We just wrote a piece on a selectman that passed away. Who was it? A couple of days ago. So it's those kinds of stories that we want to highlight, and I only know about them if you tell me. Right. So reach out, and I'll always respond.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in today.
This has been great.
And I appreciate all the information you gave us. And hopefully, we'll speed along here.
Yeah, we'll keep on trucking and do a little bit better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching Littleton Common. And until next time, don't forget to hug a senior.